can't even get to God.
Hey everyone, ZaiZoe here. Welcome to my channel. Just inside Savage 7, checking out some of their spectacular raids. It seems like it's been a little while since we did a 7 video, so I figured we better put another one out there. Some of you are still wondering, how can you push a Townhall 7? It just takes a little bit of patience and some commitment. Gems can help, not necessarily needed, but and for us 7s, we mainly do use the dragons. I have seen the odd guys using ground troops, but I'll tell you, you gotta have so much going right for you to be doing that as a 7 in ground. You can get your way up there, but I imagine at a certain point you're gonna start hitting a wall. I know a lot of the bases I hit, you know, some of them I guess I would take with ground, so you'd still be able to get up pretty high as a 7 with ground. As long as you start to learn how to funnel in and everything goes right. But you are going to lose some, you will win some, you will lose some. And Colt's Dragon over there, doing exactly what he wanted it to do. Not only did it manage to take out that air defense, but grabbed that blower just before it set off a few traps there. With that last dragon going, and the Barb King should be able to grab the 3 stars and be a nice little raid. Yet to set off that king. And I have noticed some people used to tell me that I don't use my king right, that I don't maximize its rage, and I never did understand what that meant, but I have been watching a lot more of the Townhall 9 raids, and I understand exactly what people mean now. In this case, the king wasn't needed, but in some cases when you are going to use your king, make sure you hit that rage early enough that, number one, that you don't waste any of the power. Like, you don't want to hit it too soon, because then you won't get all of what you should have gotten. But at the same time, you don't want to wait too late, because if you wait too late, then you won't maximize his rage destruction, right? If you set it off when he's almost dead, well, guess what? They're already locked in on him, and it won't be much longer before he's dead, but he still would have been raging if you had to set it off sooner. So remember to make sure you utilize that exact spot for your heroes. I have been paying more attention now that somebody had told me that. And we had somebody in visiting from Brazil, so shout out to Brazil with the green and yellow. And we used to use green and yellow, but it was time for a change. Time for black and white. Black and white's nice. And he grabs the 50 and dodges out of there. Another spot to show, basically, you know, he knew he wasn't going to get any much more than that, so why waste your heroes after that point? And on this raid, I don't know what I was doing. I had just gotten up. It was like 4:25 in the morning. I had the sound turned down, and I hadn't noticed. I looked up. There was like 2 minutes remaining on attack, and I was like, oh, geez. So I kind of did a little spam flood there. Not my exact usual technique. So I was a little bit nervous that things weren't going to go quite right, especially when they started dodging all air to the far right. I thought, oh, here we go. Yeah, that one air defense is going to end up getting me, but I got lucky there. Them couple dragons came back, and having 3 dragons with good health there, that air defense didn't last too much longer. So we will grab the 3 stars, and not a bad raid. Wake up 5 minutes later, pull out a +16, so gotta be happy with that. And He-Man finding one of my Secret Loves mini-max bases. And this one's kind of different. He threw in the expos, and really, I mean, I used to limit that our players didn't have expos, infernos, or eagles, just because you want to be able to make sure that you can carry your own weight. And some of you have seen ZaiZoe 3, and even at it, it still weighs over a max 8. but it weighs under a weak 9. So it's right there on the verge. And again, you know, some people that think they're dishonest, well, again, so I'm going to draw a Townhall 8 or a Townhall 9, usually a Townhall 9. If a Townhall 9 can't beat my Minimax base, then that's not because I'm cheating or it's unfair that I have a Minimax base. That's just because they suck. So again, when you had all this war match changing and everything like that, it wasn't that the Minimaxes really had a big advantage. It was just that the people that lost to them sucked. And as I had said before, to explain it to people, I mean, it's really... it was really noticeable inside Minimax Savage, of course, because we had all Minimax bases. However, if we had have just stuck with all Minimax bases, we would have lost a lot of wars and tied a lot of wars, due to the fact that Minimax didn't really have that much of an advantage. The only advantage we had was that we had multiple attempts to take out their top base. So at one point, we ended up putting in my max Townhall 9, which kind of helped out a little bit and leveled the playing field. We ended up not getting as many ties anymore, but then it started to get to where we were drawing more 10s. And once that started to happen, well, then again, what you're going to do is you should end up in a tie. You know, if I have a Minimax 11 and they have, you know, and then we have a 9 up top for our side and they have a 10 up top, well, the end result of that war is going to be that I should be able to 3-star their 10 with our Minimaxes. However, they should be able to 3-star our tops as well, so that's why it should end in a tie. And if it didn't, it wasn't because the advantage went to the Minimax, it was because they sucked. And then we ended up having to switch over to using a Townhall 11 up top and then a 9, although it never came down to the 9. Quite often, if you look, just like most clans, sometimes, you know, you draw a war and it's a complete blowout. Like, it's just like the other team didn't even show up, or, well, they just completely sucked, all of them. And then you get the other wars, which was most of our wars. I'd say 90% of the wars inside Minimax Savage were down to the top base. And even when we were filling CC, we didn't even fill all of the CC in Minimax because we knew all of the bases were going to be 3-starred anyways. Our main focus was making sure that the top base, at least the top couple bases, were filled to the top. Sometimes, you know, they might 1-star, 2-star the number 1 and 2-star the number 2, but it wasn't very often that they didn't get the 3-stars. So usually a lot of the wars were 120, 119 to, like, you know, 118s, 117s, 119 to 119s, 120 to 120s, 120 to 119s. So there was quite a bit of very, very close calls there, but nonetheless, I do not believe it was because the advantage was to the Minimax bases. It was just the fact that, you know, the disadvantage was that they sucked. And still having a pretty nice record in at Minimax Savage. Some people have commented that I have closed it down. I did close it down because in the last 15 wars, last month, so it's been 1 month since we've warred, in the last 15 wars we had 5 losses. We have a total of 424 wins, 28 losses, and 11 ties. 5 of those losses came in 15 wars. Something was going wrong. We needed to stop the wars before the record starts to get too trashy and rethink things out. So that's kind of where it's sitting at the moment. Some people have commented that there's been no wars going on in there, but I got to make sure that I've got a comfortable grasp on the system, or at least feel like I do. And Renee was doing a beautiful job slowly picking off the 50% of that base, just taking his time. He grabs a great cup offer at 18 for the 1-star. You gotta be happy with that. Smiles finding himself at Townhall 9. Gonna start picking off some of that outside distractions. You don't want to be sending in all your dragons. Otherwise, they'll just go right down the line, all the way around the base, until they're slowly killed. Eventually, they might go in, but it's not going to go the way you planned. And I thought I'd try plugging in my, as you guys know, I do use 2 different devices to record videos on at times. So a lot of my Savage 7 stuff, I just don't like switching my accounts back. I mean, I can do all my videos from one device and just switch the accounts on that. But I don't like doing that. I just like keeping the accounts on the devices that are on the devices as opposed to switching around. So I thought I would try plugging in this little earpiece mic and seeing if it sounded any better. It does not. However, I do like myself, and I think I did a good job of keeping the flow going, being somewhat entertaining, so I decided, well, we'll just let this one slide. So if it sounds a little rough or a little off, yeah, I agree. It's a little rough and a little off. And Elite Nerdy finding a nice Townhall 8 from Elite 8. And I found myself another Elite 8 the other day. You know, with the amount of bass finding that goes on back and forth between those clans, it's too bad there wasn't some sort of family tie there. Boy, we sure get a lot of Townhall 8s looking for a clan, but I never know where to send them because we got no Savage family Townhall 8 clans. Maybe we'll have to start one. Hey, there's an idea. And a Townhall 10 clan and a Townhall 11. I already got the Minimax clan, so perfect. And easily Elite's gonna grab those 2 stars. Letting that time go out. I'm not sure if he's just trying to grab some extra or trying to be nice and give the 60%, but it's never a bad thing. I'm flip-flopping sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I don't really want to give it to him, but then other times I'm like, well, yeah, I should give him the 60. It is the nice thing to do. But if you don't, it technically puts him back into that clouds or into the search system 2 hours earlier at least if they don't raid down on their shields. So. And that is it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And I will see all of you in the next video. I'm out of here. Peace. The end.